Welcome to Donna Creations and More. Today is a collaboration with Recreate Inspiration hosted by Lola Creations, Lady Red Crafting, and co-host the Chick Show DIY. Now let's get on with my fall fake bakes. So the first thing I did is I took one of these coffee mugs that I got from Habitat for Humanity for $1. And I took my Cricut Joy and I printed out some little decals to add to my glass after I cleaned it first with rubbing alcohol. So my decal says pumpkin spice latte. So to get started, we're going to use this terracotta paint. I think that looks close, pretty darn close to pumpkin color for like pumpkin pie, pumpkin spice. Instead of me mixing a color, I didn't have to. Now I'm just going to paint inside my cup where I want the terracotta color to be. And getting down little edges can be tricky to try to even them out. So just take a baby wipe and rub along the edge to clean up your edge to try to make it even looking the best you can. If you're new here, I'd like to say welcome. Thanks for stopping by and watching my video. Please consider subscribing and joining my crafty family. I do all different types of DIYs, from thrift flips, fake bakes, resin, glam, farmhouse, shabby chic, just tons of different crafts and styles. I'm sure you'll find something you would like and will keep you interested. See, look at that. Look to the glass. It looks like a pumpkin color. If you're one of my subscribers, I'd like to say thank you and welcome back. And I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. And I appreciate you guys so much. I couldn't do this without you. I love you guys so much. So I'm just giving it one good thick coat. And then again, go around my edges. Also, thank you all for stopping by. Please check out the playlist in my description box and watch all the wonderful ladies' creations they have come up with today's fall DIY. Now, everybody does this different and does their fake drinks different. This is how I'm doing mine for my pumpkin latte. So I'm just going to grab my heat gun and dry my first layer. Try to adjust my camera because I always seem to pull towards me and then you guys can't see, and I apologize for that. Now we're going to go with our second coat. And I pour a good bit in there. And of course I had to hit the side of the glass. Again, just adding some more paint. Just making sure I have a really nice thick coat going all the way around. And it looks really nice on the outside of your glass. See, it looks pretty good. So I'm just going to clean up my glass. And set that aside to dry. So again, great color for the pumpkin color. So here I have this cute little bread loaf pan from Dollar Tree. I had no idea where I was going with this DIYs today. My inspiration person was Tracy Campbell. She does primitive type crafts. Here's her page, My Sweet Home Living with Tracy Campbell. Now she did do a bread loaf pan, but not this way. I'm doing it a different way. She did the spray foam. So I always save foam from boxes, different items that we ordered. Because you never know when you're going to need it. Well, God bless you, Draco. Sorry, my doggy sneezed. So we're going to set that aside for now. And now I'm going to take my air dry clay and I actually have a cake pan. We're going to make a pie. And Tracy Campbell did the same thing in her video. And I'm just copying exactly what she did. So just roll it out to a snake. And I want a thick pie crust. So I'm just wrapping it around. And continue adding my clay and kneading it and rolling it. And then adding it to the edge of my pie pan here. I had no idea where I was going to go with this video. I got so many fall ideas in my head right now. And I was going through all my supplies. And I'm like, oh, I want to do this. I want to do that. But it's had to be something inspirational. And I wanted to do Fakebakes, so. Now, I don't know if I'm doing this right, but I'm fluting the edges. Just taking 2 fingers and my thumb. Now, she said to wear gloves so you didn't have fingerprints. Well, guess what? I had a bunch of marks from the gloves because they were all crinkly. I really wanted to do my fake bake that I made my chocolate chips and candy for, but this had to be a fall DIY. So that video will be coming up next. So take a little bit of water in the bottom of your pan and just smooth out any of your marks, any cracks or anything you might have in your clay where you joined your edges together. So how are you all doing today? How's your weather where you are? It's terrible here in PA. It's really gloomy, rainy day, and it rained yesterday, and it's gonna rain tomorrow. We've been having bad storms in Maryland and PA. One storm, like, destroyed the back of my parents' house. Really weird. Hit only the back porch, not the front porch. Didn't touch the neighbor's house. And here, it didn't touch my house, just like a little bit, little rain, but right up the hill that I could see from the back of my house, it was pouring. It's been really some really strange weather patterns. Here I'm just taking my hand and smoothing down the edges on the inside and pushing the clay down into the pie pan. That way the plaster of Paris that we add will hold the clay into place. And I keep messing with this pie crust because I really think I did the whole finger thing backwards. I don't know. I've only made one real pie in my whole life, like from scratch, from crust and all, and that was when I was younger. Otherwise, in today's world, I just buy the pie crust already done. Make my life so much easier. So I'm just really trying to get my edges on my pie crust nice and fluted and pretty. And to me, that looks pretty darn good. I'm pressing in the sides along the outside of the pan. So we're going to set that aside. Now for the messy part. Oh, it's all messy. I'm just a messy crafter, you guys. I have just pasted it. So I'm going to take 2 cups of plaster of Paris to 1 cup of water. Now this works good when you're doing pies and cakes and stuff like that. As you'll see later in the video, it does not work good when you're doing lollipops and candies in the mold. So we're going to give this a good mix. You want to take, I'm using a plastic spoon. Now, I'm using one of my Tupperware bowls, and I do take it outside and clean it out. And boy, was that not that easy. So I don't recommend this. I recommend, like I said in all my other videos, save a disposable bowl from your anything, your cottage cheese, your yogurt, whatever, for stuff like this. Your butter, whatever plastic bowls you can normally throw away, save for your craft project. So, we don't have enough, so we're going to do it again. Which I knew wasn't going to be enough because she used 4 cups too. But I wasn't pulling out my big bowls, and I'm glad I didn't. So again, blend it up really good. And you see this is very thick. And that's what you want for like pies. And like when I did my giant cupcake, that was a cake. And you just want to take your spoon and smooth it out to your edges. And smooth the top best as you can. Now I take rubbing alcohol, spray it. Spritz, spritz, there we go. Get any air bubbles. And I see a couple that pop. Gonna set that aside for now. I'm gonna mix some more up. Now, one of my subscribers asked me to do a video of me demolding my lollipops and candies out of these molds. So I figured while I had the plaster Paris out, I'll make some Halloween ones so I can show how it's done. Now as you can see, this plaster is way too thick. And I have way too much, so I'm going to add more to my pie. So if you ever have any questions, feel free to ask me, and if you need me to do a video on a certain thing, I will. I have no problem with that. I'm here to help you guys as much as I can. I added some more water to my plaster of Paris to make it a little bit runnier, so it can go into these cavities super easy. As you see, as I'm doing here, it flows very easily into the cavities. It's not too thick. It's not too runny. So you want your plaster of Paris like pancake mix. So you can shake it around, and it's a little runny, and it goes in all them grooves. You add your sticks in, and then you coat your sticks really well. And you keep shaking it, spraying it with rubbing alcohol to get the air bubbles out. And we're going to set that aside, and then I have a bunch of little pumpkins. And I'm actually doing this pretty fast, as you say. Even though I have it sped up a little, I'm doing this pretty fast, because plaster of Paris dries starts to harden really quick. So I'm just slopping it in there real fast. And once I give it a nice shake and tap, voila, it's all in the little grooves. And just go back in and fill whatever little bit needs to be filled in. And shake and tap again. Spray with some rubbing alcohol. Pop any air bubbles you say. And then we're done. Set that to the side. Just going to add my last little bit here to my pie. So I will show myself demolding these, but I'm not sure if I'm going to use them in this tutorial. If not, I'll use them in something that's coming up. But I wanted to share that with her and help out my subscriber. Let's move these out of the way. Guess I give one more tap, another spritz. Now back to my little bread pan here. I'm just going to take my hot glue. Which was taking forever to heat up on me, but just going to add some hot glue in here. Glue my little foam pieces down. have them pretty snug in there. And I'm just going to add some extra hot glue around the edges. And then we're going to pull out the old handy dandy Crayola air dry clay again. And I'm just going to take a big glob of it, just like a dough. Now I could have added something in the center of this, some more foam or a toilet paper roll, but I didn't. Now I'm just going to press it all down into my edges of my pan. Now, as I said, Tracy Campbell did hers out of the spray foam. And she used them little disposable metal tins. I want to do mine different. Again, taking the water, smoothing all the edges out, all my little fingerprints. Trying to mold it as best as I can to so it looks like a loaf of bread that rises in the oven. Now see, the back end looks really good, but the front end towards me here looks terrible. So let me just clean up these edges on my pan. And I can see it. This side is a little too high, and that's the side that looks funky. We need to fix that, you guys. Now, I decided not to do spray foam. One, I don't care for spray foam. It's super sticky, it's super messy, and it goes all funky in different shapes, and you gotta sand it and everything down, and I'd rather just do the clay. Now my loaf ain't perfect. No loaf of bread is. Now I'm just gonna take a plastic butter knife and make little lines into my bread. Then we'll set this aside to dry. And while that's drying, let me take a moment and say thank you, thank you, thank you to all my subscribers. We finally hit 1K. Woohoo, I'm so excited. So, what did I tell you when we hit 1K? I'm going to do a live video, and we're going to do a fake bake cake, and we're going to do a $50 Amazon gift card drawing. So you must attend the live video and comment during the video, and then an app will pick a winner from that. So you have to be one of my subscribers, of course, and be present. And I'm planning on doing this August the 31st at 9 p.m. That was the time that was voted on for my subscribers. Again, August 31st at 9 p.m. If for some reason I cannot do a live video, because I've never done it before, I'm going to try. And I'm going to ask my fellow YouTube friends how to do it. But if something happens where it doesn't work out that way, which I pray it doesn't, then I will just do the video and it'll be picked from the comments there. So hopefully I can do the live video and we can interact, 'cause that's what I want to do. And if any of my fellow YouTuber friends know how to do a live video, please send me a message in Instagram. I appreciate it so much. Thank you. Now back to finishing these fake bakes. So here are the candies and the lollipops that I made. And I just simply twist and turn and pop them out. It's been about 6 hours. And then they're still soft. They're not completely dry. And then I go around and I just break off whatever little pieces need to be taken off. And then just sand it with some fine sandpaper. And that's basically it. As you remember, that one was super thick. So that one ran over more. But that's okay. So I hope this helped my subscriber that asked me to show how this is done. Again, I'm just popping them out. Just giving it a little twist and tug, turning them, and pushing on the very top until they pop out. Now I'm going to speed this up real quick because this video is already long enough. And even though it took me like 14 hours to do all this, and I've been working on this since 4:30 this morning. So here I have harvest orange, black, and I'm going to paint my piece of candy that I'm going to use. So I'm going to do that real quick. First I give it one layer of the harvest orange. Now I totally forgot to mix it with Mod Podge, but that's okay. So I have my Mod Podge here. I'm just going to add a little bit of paint onto this piece of paper in my Mod Podge. Mix it together. And just give it a second coat. And this is basically how I do all my candy. I mix it with paint and Mod Podge to give it that glossy look. Give it a quick dry. And then of course my fingers pull the paint off. Now remember, this candy is not completely dry. But that's okay because you can still paint it. Actually, all my products that I did with I want to think of it. The plaster of Paris is not completely dry. But I did put my pie in the oven today on very low temperature, and my I'd even put my bread in the oven, my big bread pan, even though I had styrofoam in it. But Nothing happened. I didn't smell anything. It was on 175 for a few hours just to get it to dry faster. So I made everything, took a break. I had it all in the dryer. In the dryer. Oh my goodness, I can't talk right tonight, you guys. Put it in the oven. So we're going to slide that piece of candy to the side, let it finish drying. Now let's work on our pumpkin latte. So here I have a toilet paper roll. I'm just going to cut it down. And believe it or not, it was just enough. Any taller, it wouldn't have worked. Put some hot glue on it, put it in the center of my cup. Take a piece of scrap cardboard. This was from a Dollar Tree easel. I'm going to cut it out my circle. I did it smaller than what my circle was, but that room must be really big because it did not fit, and I had to do it 3 times. As you see here. Finally got it to fit. So we're going to hot glue that in. And I can't believe this video is going to be late when I've been working my butt off since 4 o'clock this morning, 4:30 this morning. So now I'm going to grab my lightweight spackle. This is my first time doing this. First time ever opening it. As you see, tons on the lid. So I'm going to add some to my container. And I'm going to try to make my same color as my cup. Now remember, a little difficult because this is white spackle. So I'm mixing in terracotta. So I'd add in some brown. Still too light. Not matching. Going to add a little bit more brown and terracotta. Because we need that orange color. Because this is a pumpkin latte. I'm going to add a little bit of black to tone it down. Now my black is watered down because it's old bottom. I'm going to give it 2 more drops, so be careful if you do this, because my black is watered down. So you might not need as much black as I used. Now that looks pretty close to me. I don't want to lose that orange tone in it as the gingerbread. Oh my goodness. The pumpkin bread color is, or pumpkin color is. So I'm going to add it into my piping bag. And yes, I know I'm doing it wrong, just holding it in my hand and shoving it in there. As long as I get it done, right? There's no right or wrong way. Because all I want to do is fill my cup up. Which ain't going to do it with this little hole. I'm like, oh my goodness, no way. I'll be here forever. Ah, much better. So now, I'm getting the rest out of my bowl, much as I can. Not gonna waste this. And I really don't even know why I keep putting it in the piping bag now. I got it pretty full when I could just scooped it in. And I'm going to smooth it out with my stick, and then I realized there was like air bubbles. So in order to get rid of them air bubbles, you're going to take your stick and push down. Now see how they're opening? You can see the bubbles on the side of the cup. See? So you gotta make sure your spackle is totally covered your glass. And I smoothed it out best as I could. And I was like worried about the rim, which was stupid, because I can just wipe it off. So here's where I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna shove the rest in here and get the rest of any more air bubbles out. And just smooth it all out with, not worrying about the edges. I'll clean them up with the baby wipe. Makes it a lot quicker. I mean, this is a latte. It's not supposed to be overfilled like ice cream or anything. And it's funny, I never knew there was such thing as a pumpkin latte until I Googled. So now I'm going to take this star piping tip and add it to my piping bag. Now everybody says it's a 1M, but I looked on it. These must be Chinese ones, because there was no 1M on there. It was some funky number. I have no idea. So I'm just adding the white to it. And we're going to add some little whipped cream to this. Our little gingerbread latte. I keep wanting to say gingerbread. I was going to do this in gingerbread. Our little pumpkin latte. I was going to add gingerbreads to it until I did the candy for my subscriber. So I'm just going to add one of these little pumpkin candies to it. And put some little clear glitter on it, some sugar. Fill it in a little bit more. Since I smashed it down, add a little bit more glitter. And voila, we're done with that for now, and you'll see that at the final review. Nope, we're not done. I'm sorry. I had the brown out and I forgot I wanted to do the little thing that sticks out the top of the pumpkin. You guys know what I'm talking about. The stem. That's it. So I wanted to color the stem, and of course I messed it up and get the brown on the orange and gotta fix it, and always something. Oh, and we're done with it. Moving on. Now we're to our bread. We're just going to take this coffee Grunge that I heated up. I do have a video on how to make this. And you keep it in your fridge, and when you want to use it, you just heat it up in your microwave. It smells so good. Cinnamon, vanilla. If there was such thing as smell-o-vision, oh my goodness, you guys. So I'm giving it just a coat of the coffee Grunge. Now we gotta make this look like pumpkin bread. So I'm taking my harvest orange and adding my coffee Grunge to it. And now I'm going to coat my bread. And now it's starting to look like pumpkin bread. Looks all nice because you can see the I used a terracotta color, I'm telling you. You can see the cinnamon and all in it. So I just give it a coat of that and make sure I keep cleaning my edges up on my cute little pan here from Dollar Tree. Try to make this all look realistic as I could. So I'm going to give it a quick dry. And I'm not going to have you watch me the whole time drying it. See, which we just fast forward that, cut that out. We're going to do our second coat. See, my bread's getting more done, you guys. It's baking away. Can't you just smell the pumpkin bread? Mmm. My aunt made a pumpkin roll one time. Oh my gosh, that was so good. I would love to know how to make a pumpkin roll. I'm going to have to try it. That's something else I could do for a fake bake. Maybe. I don't know. This took a long time to do all this. So I did my second coat, cleaned my edges up. We're going to put this bread loaf to the side for now. Now let's work on this pie. We got to make it look like a pie. So we're going to take the same coffee grind and we're going to go around on all of our edges and coat our crust. Now my coffee grind's pretty dark. It's been in my fridge for a very long time. I probably could have just done away with one coat, but I did too. Some sprites, I can't talk to you guys. Some spots were like really, really light. Almost like white, so I did go over and do 2 coats. But if you do this, don't worry about getting it on the plaster of Paris part, but you're not even going to see it. And believe it or not, this turned out to look like a real goddamn pie. So I'm just going to give it a quick dry so I can do my second coat. And then we can get to making this look like a pie. I know this video is going pretty fast, but you basically see what I'm doing here. I'm just coating it twice with the coffee grinds. And drying it as I go along here. It's like, okay, Donna, stop. Your crust is starting to burn. It will lighten up as it completely dries. So now I'm going to take some paint, terracotta and brown, and the coffee grounds. Now this color was too dark, and I added some black in it. Oh, it's like, look, it turned brown. I'm like, nope, gotta redo it. So we're just going to add some orange and the coffee grunge. Add some more of that harvest orange in there. So I have the terracotta, the coffee grunge, and harvest orange. And I'm testing it out. Now that's looking more like it, but it's still a little brown for my liking. So this is just our first coat, so we will fix it. It soaks in very quickly in this, don't worry about adding too much. It really soaks in. So I'm just going to give that a quick dry look. Way too brown. Don't look like no pumpkin pie right now. We'll have to fix that. So here comes more orange. Now that looks like a pumpkin pie. It really looks like a pumpkin pie. That is like, I don't know how I did it. That color is like perfect. And here I am just sitting around, going around, making sure I get it to my edges of my crust. And popping bubbles. Then I realized, duh, my heat gun's gonna pop all the bubbles. So then I made these little leaves out of clay. And I'm just adding some coffee grounds to them. Going to do 2 coats like I did my crust. And add them to the center of my pie. Now back to my loaf of bread. Got 2 little cinnamon sticks here. I have a piece of cloth that I'm tearing up that I tea stained earlier today. And first I wanted it tied this way, but then I realized it hides a cute little sign on the front of the bread pan. So I'm like, nope. And of course this ain't long enough, because this was like a little soup bag that you can use that I cut up. So anyhow, I'm tying it together. And I had to put it on my lap to tie it down the bottom. Sorry, you guys. But then I realized that knot's in the way. So now I gotta cut the knot off and glue it into place. That way my pan sits flat. Now for the final reveal. Tell me what you guys think. I think they turned out excellent. Here's my little pumpkin spice latte. My bread. And my pie. And of course, when I got a shadow from trying to film it. Thanks for watching. Please consider subscribing. Please don't forget to hit that like button. It really helps boost my channel. And comment. Let me know which one is your favorite. And you guys all have a wonderful evening. Bye. I'll see you on the next tutorial.